Hey there, Dan. Good evening. It's Jay Obertans at Rorik Mazda. You'll kind of have to excuse my raspy voice here. Just talking and screaming under a mask for 12 hours kind of wears me out. But I'm getting ready to lock up the building and everything, and I thought, well, I gotta walk through the upstairs anyway, and came across this car, which is the one that you were checking out for you and Hayley, and thought, I'll just make you guys a video, and that way you guys can kind of see it up close well before visiting with me tomorrow and learn a little bit more about it. Now, this is the 25S trim in the Snowflake White Pearl. You'll see on this trim you have your 16-inch machine gray finished alloy wheels. Safety is huge, and it's really big for Mazda, so the majority of your safety features are completely standard. I point out this big old emblem in the grille is fake, and then you'll notice on top of the windshield you have a camera right there. Those features work together, and pedestrian sensing, cyclist detection, obstacle warning. Essentially put, if this vehicle ever senses that you're about to crash into anything, it's immediately going to start warning you and beeping at you, flashing a big word brake, and then it will automatically slam on the brakes to stop before you actually hit something. Same thing with drifting out of your lane. If you begin to drift out of your lane while you're driving, the vehicle's not only going to kind of give this weird vibration through the steering wheel, it's going to actually kind of pull to correct you to push you back into your lane. Your headlights, Mazda is one of the only manufacturers that has full standard LED headlights. So you're going to have kind of those very bright, like piercing blue lights you see on like a lot of Lexus and BMW products. Unfortunately, you are going to get the occasional flash of people thinking you're that asshole that drives around with the high beams on, but it is just how bright LED lights are, and it's a night and day difference for the people sitting behind the wheel of them. Now, cool enough, they can even read light from street lights and other vehicles, and they'll be able to use your high and low beams automatically without you having to. Now, of course, a backup camera is going to be standard, as are trajectory guidelines, and even kind of cooler is if the vehicle ever senses that the driver is falling asleep, it'll actually yell at you to wake back up. Now, you'll see this rear lip spoiler is a gloss black, which is pretty nice contrast on the white. You'll see not one, but over here, I don't want to step on the air conditioning vent back here, and two dual exhaust pipes. You'll notice that the car is all-wheel drive, and our all-wheel drive system actually ranked out the best in the entire segment. But plus, Mazda is a very driver-oriented vehicle. We have the highest horsepower in the entire class of subcompact SUVs. I'll give you a little bit of a zoom, if you would. Now, moving on to the interior, this is where it's pretty dramatic, and I say that because though Mazda doesn't readily admit it, the cx30 is a joint partnership with Mazda and Lexus. So just the overall design, and especially through the interior, you're going to notice it's a lot more luxury-like than what you'd expect. Now, everything for the car is keyless because it's push-button start, so you'll just make sure that you have this with you. Interior-wise, let me actually get the lights on. Perfect. You'll see that you have your very heavily bolstered out cloth seating. Dash-wise, you're going to notice very clean dash, a super large 9-inch screen that sits up front and center. Now, that screen is not touch. Mazda takes a very kind of BMW-style approach that everything is going to be controlled on that joystick system behind the gear shifter. And whether you are adjusting a radio station or volume or kind of programming up some of those safety features I mentioned, it is all going to be done on that joystick. Now, you also have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay standard, so your entire phone will project up onto the screen, use navigation, listen to different music apps like Spotify or iHeartRadio and so forth. So hopping in here, I'm just going to go ahead and put my foot on the brake, start up the car super quickly here. Now, this whole speedometer, this is actually an LCD screen. If you prefer a more traditional gauge, you can see with the press of the button, I can kind of change it back to a regular gauge here. Now, of course, up here is going to be your entire display, and if I shift into reverse, I did mention you do have your backup camera that will show up. Now down here, this rolls around, rocks around, press down to make a selection, volume for the radio, emergency brake is all right here at your fingertips. With many adjustments from cruise control, you can kind of see me adjusting that distance was actually is a feature I did forget to mention. So your cruise control is fully adaptive in this car. It is more focused on maintaining distance. It can kind of speed up and slow down based upon what's in front of it. And it even has stop and go, and this is where shit gets a little crazy. Excuse my language, it's been a rough day, I promise. It's funny, I just messaged my partner and said, please put an IPA in the fridge for me. I'm just like, it's one of those days as soon as I get home. But this vehicle can drive itself completely in traffic. It will follow the traffic pattern in front of you, stop with traffic, pick back up when it starts moving, stop again, and so forth. It is a pretty cool feature, and luckily it's been out since 2017, so it's trusted. And then probably the last feature, I'm one of those people, I save the best for last, and if you don't mind kind of taking a walk and talk with me, guys, mainly because I have to shut this garage door before I forget, that vehicle also has Mazda connected services. It's a brand new integrated feature with Mazda, but there's an app that you download on your cell phone, and you can remote start, you can lock and unlock the vehicle anywhere in the world from your phone. You can also check how much gas is in the car, you can check the mileage, you can check the tire pressures, the fluids, schedule service, you can see if any doors or windows were left unlocked or down. It's basically a vehicle control tracker app called Mazda Connected Services, and it's free the entire duration of a lease. And then the very last thing is the Rorick Advantage. It makes us super unique because we're one of the last standing family-owned organizations in the entire region, but all of our vehicles are entirely maintenance-free. So oil changes, inspections will be covered the whole lease, as will loaner cars, car washes, and more. So I appreciate it greatly, guys. I'm going to send over this video. Hopefully it helps, and I do look forward to meeting with you tomorrow evening. Thanks again.